Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back in another Madden 22 video. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Jacksonville Jaguars after their free agency signings. They got Christian Kirk on a horrible deal. Now, in Madden, on my rosters, this is my personal roster that I make. I'll put a link in the top comments. I'll pin it in the comments on how to get my rosters. I update them all the time after the free agency signings. You cannot edit the contracts, unfortunately, whenever you are signing players. So in Madden, I will have to forcefully do that. So you do get the updated rosters, but you can't change the contracts, unfortunately. We have Evan Engram here, who actually I don't see as a bad signing. Everyone goes, oh, he has no hands, he has no sense. I don't even see that as a bad signing, honestly. We also, of course, have Trevor Lawrence, who I personally still think is better than Mac Jones. Even though he is a 74 overall, I think he has a greater potential than Mac Jones. After getting Brandon Scherff here, oh my gosh, yes, please. That is an amazing signing. Ben Barch, he looks like he could have some potential, but I believe they just franchise tagged Cam Robinson. So I'm going to move Ben Barch to, let's move him. Do I want to trade him? I don't know what I want to do with Ben Barch. I'm going to move him to right tackle for now. I know it seems unrealistic to go to left guard to right tackle, which is your completely opposite position, but he has star dev, so I don't want that to go to waste. Jawan Taylor is going to be a little bit better than him. He's a 66 overall at that position, but I'm going to move him up just because. Actually, I want Jawan Taylor up there. Maybe Barch will develop a little bit better behind him. Travis Etienne, it was a stupid first-round pick. Bad teams remain as bad teams, as always. I'm sorry, Jaguars fans. It's just, why? Oh, you need chemistry. You need, no. It's, you have James Robinson. And if you use James Robinson correctly during the season, and you didn't constantly give it to, who was it? Why am I blanking? Carlos Hyde. If you didn't constantly keep running the ball with Carlos Hyde, maybe you won a little bit more games. I mean, yeah, you got the first overall pick, but dang. Christian Kirk's contract was just stupid, dude. I think he's like the third highest paid receiver in the NFL. Extremely overpaid, but at least Trevor Lawrence has, I guess, a slot weapon now. I would say Marvin Jones is their receiver 1. Chenault would be a receiver 2. Then Kirk would be a slot. But yeah, Evan Engram isn't a bad signing. People get upset about this. Scherff was definitely their best signing by far. Very good signing for them. I'll give you credit to that. Defensively, Josh Allen, I'm going to move down to left end here. You guys let go Miles Jack. Oh, he doesn't work well in our new scheme. I don't care, bro. It's Miles Jack. He was your best, probably, well, your second best defensive player. I would say Josh Allen's a little bit better than him. Like, Miles Jack was so good. I mean, yeah, you signed Fossad Oluokun, which is cool. But dang, dude, really just L's all around. Darius Williams, this was actually a good signing. I was surprised that you guys got him for only $10 million a year for 3 years. This guy's super underrated. I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Florenzo Fataski. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know exactly. Devon Hamilton's solid, I guess, with that development. Kaylavon Chason, first round bust. I remember him. And yeah, everyone else, this team has something to work with if they can get their coaching together. And just the contracts were horrible. They were so desperate to get a receiver. Like, there was Odell Beckham out there, and you could have, I mean, yeah, it would have been overpaying to sign Odell for that much, but Christian Kirk on that big of a deal, just, it astonishes me. I'll have to actually give him that contract at the midseason. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it's now time to jump into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 5-1 top of the division. Sure, Christian Kirk signing, let's just hypothetically say it was God tier. So we're not going to have the number 1 overall pick in the draft, obviously, but I'm still going to make it happen, even though we're 5-1. I'm going to try and trade up in the draft and just forcefully make our way up there because I can't control the signings. Well, I can't control the draft order unless I go to the online rosters, and if I go to the online rosters, then it won't allow me to, what's it called? If I go to the online rosters, then it won't allow me to have these updated rosters. So I'm going to import my draft class here, and Aiden Hutchinson and all these guys are here. That's cool. So I'm going to try to force my way up to the number 1 overall pick. Players ready to negotiate. I should have just tanked our season. That would have been the smarter decision. So I'm actually no, I'm going to season. So I'm going to take the season and the win, away, home, away, and away win. Take the rest of our season, then try to trade up for the #1 overall pick, so that way it can be more realistic for you guys. And I'm going to draft probably Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau. Looking into the players ready to negotiate here. Actually, what is this? Oh, it's against the Seahawks. I'm just going to particularly tank the rest of the year, as I said, because, again, I just can't be having that. I can't be having us not having the #1 overall pick. Andrew Norwell, I don't see why they wouldn't sign him back. So Andrew Norwell is going to get re-signed here. AJ Can, no. Cam Robinson got tagged in real life on a 1-year deal. So I am going to tag him. Or was it Jawan Taylor? I think it was Cam Robinson. Damian Wilson, no. Trey Herndon, Adam. Where is... Okay, I guess Christian Kirk's contract didn't get updated for some reason. If I go look at that, let me go see real quick. It should be $20 million a year, if I'm not mistaken. Well, not 20 million, 17 million a year over a long period of time. So he's in the first year of his deal. No, he should be. It was a 4-year deal, I believe, or 72 million. So I'm going to spike that up. It was 4 years, 72 million. I'll make sure to keep this contract right. The other contracts are not horrible, so I'm not worried about them, but this one is a huge contract, so we're going to get there. And I know I don't know the exact signing bonus. I think it was like 20 million. I don't care. As long as it's 72 million total salary, that's what it was. It was 72. Let's get there, please. And it's 72. I'm just going to tank the salary. Well, signing bonus, I mean. And if you guys cry in the comments, I genuinely don't care. It was 72 million over 4 years. I don't necessarily care about the specifics of the signing bonus. I really just don't. So anyways, guys, apart from that, I would say it's now time to move into the playoffs after we just tanked our season. Here we are at the playoffs as we're coming off a loss to the Colts because they tanked the rest of our season. We're 5-12. I'll make sure to trade up to the top of the draft so that way we can get the #1 overall pick. Trevor Lawrence did not have the world's best season, but not the world's worst. 10th best offense, 27th defense, 4,900 yards, 30 TDs, 18 interceptions. Cam Robinson, 18 TDs is great, but 3.8 per carry is not good. Marvin Jones, 1,400 yards, 30 TDs. Christian Kirk, 11 TDs, 1,200 yards. A way to play for that contract, dude. Foyesade Lucan, 126 tackles for a loss, 18 for Josh Allen, sacks, 14 for Josh Allen, interceptions, 3 for Rayshon Jenkins. Safeties on the team, 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So anyways, guys, apart from that, I would say it's now time to move in to the off season whenever I can actually click it correctly and not hit file staff if I can ever back out of it at any point in year. So now it is time to move into the off season. Packers beat the Titans in the Super Bowl. Rasul Douglas wins Super Bowl MVP. And there are no Jaguars here for any awards. Surprised that Trevor Lawrence did not get Rookie of the Year in the simulation. Players and adjustments. Let's see what kind of development upgrades we get. Trevor Lawrence started with Superstar. Christian Kirk now has Superstar. So sure, cool contract. Travis Etienne has Star Dev. And nobody else got an upgrade here. Defensively, Josh Allen gets Superstar, and that's it. So those are pretty cool upgrades, I guess. We're going to go to the re-sign players here, see who we have to re-sign. They tagged Cam Robinson in real life, I believe, or they got him on a year deal. I don't know the specifics. I would say it's a year deal, so I am just going to tag him. So we're going to go to 2021 retirements, see who we got in the AFC South. AFC South we are, and nobody retires. So yeah, we were the AFC South. Players ready to negotiate. I'm going to tank Cam Robinson's contract, and I'm just going to go to that 2-year deal. He's not going to accept it, and then we're just going to tag him for 15 million, and he's there, and nobody else here I want to resign. So I'm going to skip out on free agency in Madden. I know I have 36 million to spend, but most of it's already happened in real life, and I don't want to sign anybody by accident. So I'm just going to skip to the draft. And with the first overall pick in the draft, I'm picking up Aiden Hutchinson. I think this will be the #1 overall pick in real life. There's a lot of character concerns with Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. I don't see happening anymore, considering that they just tagged Cam Robinson. I know the Eagles aren't #2 on the draft board in real life. I know this draft order is completely screwed up, but it's about my pick. I don't really care who everyone else drafts, so I'm going to get to the second round. In the second round, I'm picking up Bernard Rahman, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm going to move him to right tackle as Cam Robinson is going to be... Actually, I'm going to start him at my left tackle 1. I'm going to keep him there and because I don't plan on re-signing Cam Robinson anyway, so he's going to be my starting left tackle. Here we are after the draft, as it looks like the CPU picked up this guy named Warren, Carter Warren, 65 overall. Not going to worry about him. I'm going to move, this guy, Bernard, up to starting left tackle and move Cam Robinson down to my second string. I'm probably going to trade away Cam Robinson at the midseason mark. And yeah, we're looking pretty good here. I don't have to tank the year. In my next rebuild, I will prioritize this in the future. I'm just going to simulate the first season and copy the team's record. So yeah, and he should be playing right end. Why is he not playing right end? Aiden Hutchinson. I'm going to cut this guy. Oh my gosh. I'm going to trade away this guy because he has a $10 million cap hit that I was completely unaware about. Off to the Patriots you go for next year's 4th round pick. Let's see if that works out. No, they don't even want you for that. For next year's 6th round pick, let's get this cap out of here. They don't even want you for that. For next year's 7th round pick, they finally take you. Terrible cap hit. And I want Aiden Hutchinson playing at my rush right end here. Good stuff. 79 overall, probably has X Factor. Amazing pickup. A specialist. Well, I don't want you playing. I hate this, bro. I don't want you playing rush defensive tackle. That's so annoying. Why does it do that? We're going to not split carries with Travis Etienne. And then we're going to go and change Aiden Hutchinson to a rush right end, not a rush defensive tackle. Let's go to the depth chart. And let's go to rush right end. Aiden Hutchinson, I want him to move here. Let's move you here. Rush defensive tackle, Aiden Hutchinson. I'm going to move out with Schmoot. And yeah, that's a lot better like that. Now we can actually play the game legit. Let's get into our second season and jump into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 4-3, top of the division, coming off a win to the Colts. Very good compared to last year. Well, I mean, compared to last year, we are 5-1, technically. But still, doesn't matter. Josh Allen, we want to sign on a deal. And look, he's only $8 million a year, not 17. Anyways, James Robinson, we do want to re-sign here. I'm not going to worry about Travis Etienne. He re-signs. Brandon Linder, I do want back despite his age, because regression for guards, offensive lineman starts at like 32, I think. Marvin Jones, no thanks. Smoot, no. Cam Robinson, I will trade away because I do have my franchise left tackle now. He's going to go off to the Bears, as he usually goes, as most of my picks go. Most of my players go. He's off for a 2nd round pick. Wow, that was ridiculously easy. And Jawan Taylor, I don't know how I feel about him. I kind of want him back, I'm not going to lie. Everyone else here, I'm not going to re-sign Jawan Taylor. I will deal with whenever I can actually negotiate his contract. So it's not time to move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, missing the playoffs, finishing 9-8 as the Colts steal it from us in Week 18, 35-33 loss. Unfortunate. Stats and awards, let's see what we got here. Trevor Lawrence was amazing, best offense. It's going to be the defense that's the problem for some reason. And 16th defense, actually, wow. 5,200 yards, 37 TDs, 12 interceptions, 67% completion percentage. Amazing year. James Robinson, 17 TDs, 4.3 per carry, 1,100 yards. Great year. Christian Kirk, 1,300 yards, 7 TDs. He's putting up numbers, man. Laviska Shenault, 9 TDs, 1,100 yards. Marvin Jones, 1,000 yards, 8 TDs. Evan Engram, 8 TDs, 1,000 yards. Very good season for everyone. Defensively, Fosa Aluakon with 122 tackles for a loss, 19 for Josh Allen. Sacks, 22 for Josh Allen, and 11 for Aiden Hutchinson. Great rookie year for Hutchinson. 3 interceptions for Rayshawn Jenkins. Rayshawn Jenkins, the strong safety, is actually doing pretty good. 0 safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns. Let's see the MVP. It's not going to be Trevor Lawrence, and he's at 6, 7. That's stupid. He is very good. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, it's time to move in to the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as the Packers win back-to-back Super Bowls and Aaron Jones wins Super Bowl MVP. The Ravens lose. And what do we got here? Jaguars. Aiden Hutchinson wins Rookie of the Year. I'm sure he has X Factor. Let's look into the lineup. Trevor Lawrence should have X Factor after that kind of a year. He does have X Factor. Christian Kirk does not get X Factor, unfortunately. This guy right here, Bernard, has Star Dev. That is awesome to see. And Marvin Jones is down to a 76 overall. He's regressed quite a bit. Barch, I'm probably going to end up trading him. I kind of want Jawan Taylor over him. And what do we have? Warren is all right. Defensively, Warren only has Star Dev. Aiden Hutchinson has X Factor, no surprise. And Josh Allen now has X Factor as well, no surprise. Jenkins has actually been doing pretty solid at safety. He's just 29 years old, so he's not going to progress. McLean, Zacoby McLean. Interesting name, Zacoby. Okay. Zacoby McLean. Didn't know he was on the team. Campbell. Okay. Team's looking pretty solid. So anyways, we're going to move into the re-sign players here. I want Jawan Taylor back, as I mentioned before. So I am going to re-sign Jawan Taylor. I think he's a solid guy for this team. I probably maybe think he's going to get to like a 78, 80 overall by the end of this rebuild. It's not going to be ridiculous. Unless his contract is ridiculous, I am going to sign him. And it looks like Julio Jones and Kareem Jackson's both retire. Kareem Jackson retires on the Houston Texans. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we got here. Marvin Jones, no. Smoot, no. Jawan Taylor, I already expressed how I wanted him. It's going to be a $5 million deal, not deer. And everyone else here I don't have an interest for. So apart from that, guys, I would say it's now time to actually get into free agency. Take note, Jaguars, I only signed Marquise Brown for $11 million a year. Darnell Savage, which is huge. Bryce Callahan and Tyler Bass, both on super cheap deals as well. Darnell Savage I only got for $9 million a year. So it's now time to jump into the draft. In the draft, I'm picking up Marion McCain. Strong safety out of South Carolina. Looks pretty solid to me at pick 17. He was projected to go in the late first round, but I just picked him here. I needed a strong safety, and I think he's pretty good. In the second round, Delonte Bowden, hidden dev out of South Dakota, 91 speed. He does have C medium route and D spec catch. F stiff arm doesn't matter, but I saw the A deep route, and I was like, he's projected to go higher on the board, so why not just take him? And we got him on a pretty good contract. And in the third round, I'm having an amazing draft. Left outside linebacker Earl Byron out of Miami, hidden dev. And in my last clip, I said we got the guy on a pretty good contract. That made no sense. I meant we say we got him at a pretty good spot in the draft. This isn't the third round. This is actually the late second round, now that I think about it, from the Bears pick that we got for Cam Robinson. So that was a great pick. And it looks like football team goes with Keith Cooks, QB out of East Carolina. Cool. Here we are after the draft, and this is what the team looks like. Christian Kirk at receiver 1 is Marquise Brown in slot. No, Laviska Shenault is. Byron is a 71 overall pass rusher. Defensively, he's playing right outside linebacker right now. I want Kayvon Chason to play right outside linebacker and the other guy to play left outside linebacker, if he would, because Kayvon Chason, I didn't take his fifth-year option because, you know, he sucks. So, looking into the new team with the left outside linebacker Byron there, McCain is a 77 overall. That was an amazing pick. I'm so happy. Super amazing draft for us. In the third round, I picked up this guy, V. Miller Vitrell. No, I didn't, because he's not a rookie. Was it this guy, Sanborn? No, I guess the guy that I picked up in the third round was just so bad, he couldn't even make the top 4. Okay, never mind. Darius Williams is still here on a 3-year deal, I believe. This should be the final year of his contract, if I look into it. Stats and contracts, yeah, it is the final year of his contract, so that's fine. Anyways, guys, apart from that, I would say it's now time to get into the third season and get into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are going 3-3. We're just getting slowly worse each and every year. Third in the division. 38-7 blowout loss against the Steelers. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see who we have here. We have Brandon Scherf. Of course, I want you back on another deal. We're going to up that money for you. And he resigns. Shaquille Griffin. Let's see what we got. I want you back as well. That's a hefty contract, but I want you back for the rest of the rebuild. Foasad Aluakan. I do want you back for the rest of the rebuild as well. And he resigns. Evan Engram. I want you back for the rest of the rebuild as well, even though you guys all start regression in this season. Fatoski, that's a pretty cheap deal. So again, the regression thing, but you're good. Laviska Shenault, I do want back as well. Up the money for him, and he resigns. Devon Hamilton, I do want back as well. A lot of these players I do want back, obviously, as you can see. Kayvon Chason, no. Ben Barch, I think I can get value out of him since he's here at the midseason mark and he has star dev. So let's see who has high interest. The Bills have high interest. Trading away Ben Barch in a 6th round pick for the Cardinals' 4th and 5th round pick. Doesn't seem like huge value, but I want to get some type of value, not let him hit free agency. We're playing the Cardinals this week, who are 0-7. Breakout player, let's see what we got here. Marion McCain out here has a breakout challenge. He seems like he's only a star dev, and this could get him to superstar dev if we do have a good game against the Cardinals. They're 0-7, man. Come on. Please, let's see if we can beat these guys. We do 38-24, but they scored 24 points. So that might not be good. Had a pretty quiet game out there. Yeah, unfortunate. He did not get the superstar dev. So apart from that, guys, I would say it's now time to move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a win to the Chiefs somehow. 10-7, top the division. Did we push out the Colts like how they pushed us out? Please tell me we did. We are AFC. Yes, we pushed the Colts out. I'm so glad. Let's go. We pushed the Colts out of the contention for the playoffs. Stats and awards here. Let's see what we got. We have Trevor Lawrence, who had another great season, 15th best passer rating. Not even top 5. 9th, really, dude? That's so stupid. Best offense in the NFL, defensively looking into it. 25th defense. Like, I'm using a playbook that my commentator told me to use. The Kansas City defense with Tampa 2. I don't know what's up, dude. 5,400 yards, 38 TDs, 15 interceptions. 68% completion percentage is pretty good. James Robinson, 26 touchdowns, 4.8 per carry, 1,100 yards. Great season. This is why you don't need Travis Etienne. Christian Kirk, 1,400 yards, 8 TDs. Marquise Brown, 11 TDs, 1,000 yards. Evan Engram, 1,000 yards, 2 TDs. Laviska Shenault, 13 TDs, 1,000 yards. Laviska Shenault should get superstar, and Marquise Brown should get superstar as well. Looking into it defensively, Foas Lukan, 122 tackles for a loss, 22 for Josh Allen, sacks, 20.5 for Josh Allen. Aiden Hutchinson with 16 interceptions, 5 for Shaquille Griffin. Safeties on the team is 0 defensive touchdowns, is 1 for Shaquille Griffin. So apart from that, guys, it is now time to see if we can beat the Cincinnati Bengals to move on to the divisional round in our 3rd year of simulation. Can we do it? We can. 42-27. We beat the 14-3 Chiefs in week 18, but I think they just didn't care because they probably had the first seed in general. So let's see if we can beat them. And we do. 32-18, and we are here to face the 14-3 Baltimore Ravens, aka my favorite team. Now it's time to see if we can beat them to move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are against the Baltimore Ravens as it is 0-0 now, 7-0 on the opening drive, 7-7 for the Ravens opening drive, 10-7 against the Ravens. Come on, 10-10, tied up, 17-10. We're holding this lead, 17-13, 24-13. Ravens haven't had a single lead yet in this game, and 21-24, 24-24, 31-24, 31-31, and come on, 34-31, overtime. Let's go, 37-34, 37-37. Come on. No, did we lose? Oh my God, what a game, dude. What a game! 37-40, 2 overtimes. Trevor threw 3 interceptions. Dude, come on. Anyways, let's move to the offseason. And the Ravens beats the Panthers by 4 whole scores, that is. 21-28, 3 whole scores. Basically beating the crap out of them. Lamar Jackson wins Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins League MVP. And there are no other awards here for the Jaguars, unfortunately. Not a successful rebuild yet. We need to make it the Super Bowl. Let's see if we have any roster upgrades. Marquise Brown gets superstar. Laviska Shenault should also get superstar. He had 13 touchdowns and I think 1,100 yards. Very, very good season for him as well. So all of our receivers, top 3 receivers at least, should have superstar. Evan Engram, didn't he have a solid season? I don't know if it was worth superstar. Yeah, only 2 touchdowns. He's not getting superstar. So, yeah, this is what the offense looks like defensively. Byron has star dev and McCain has star dev as well. Defense looking good. Shaquille Griffin has superstar dev. And it looks like the CPU cut Darius Williams because after you get below an 80 overall, the CPU will just cut you if you're old. So that's unfortunate. We're going to move into the re-sign players here. Darius Williams got cut by the CPU at the start of the season. That's unfortunate for him. We're going to need a DB. I don't necessarily need a linebacker. Caleb Chaison's not the worst for simulation, but I'm also not going to re-sign him. So AFC South, I don't want anybody here because, there's no retirements. That made no sense what I said, but there's no retirements in the AFC South. Caleb Chaison, no. Chris Claybrooks, no. Everyone else here is just garbage. So apart from that, guys, it's time to get into our free agency in our 4th and final season. Here we are after the signings and free agency. Logan Wilson, coverage linebacker, a right outside linebacker, and I also got Darius Slay at defensive back. Those are some nice pickups. I think I'll just pick up a depth middle linebacker in the draft, so let's get into it. In the first round, I'm picking up a right outside linebacker, Dudley McKee, hidden dev, probably going to move him to second string inside linebacker. here we are after the draft, and this is what the team looks like going into the fourth and final season. James Robinson, I completely forgot to give him superstar dev because 4.8 per carry, 26 touchdowns, and 1,100 yards isn't easy to come by. So I am going to give him superstar dev. 26 touchdowns is no joke. So yeah, we are definitely going to give that to him. Come on. And he now gets superstar dev. Completely forgot to give that to him before, and he gets it. So defensively looking into it, McKee looks to be a 74 overall out of Louisville. Doesn't look to be too bad. I think he has more like pass rusher attributes than anything, but I'm still going to move him to middle linebacker because I feel like it. So he's now at middle linebacker, still a 77 overall. Looks like the CPU picked up this guy named Collins. I don't know who that is. And our team is looking very, very good. Hopefully we can make the playoffs in this final season. Move Collins up because he has potential, I guess. And I'm going to move James Robinson up to both my starting running backs. So apart from that, guys, it is now time to move in to the not the mid-season mark, the playoffs, because it's the fourth and final season. Here we are in the playoffs, making the playoffs, finishing 15-2, top of the division, coming off a 50-31 win against the Packers. Amazing season. Trevor Lawrence, second passing yards, fourth in passing touchdowns, 13th best passer rating, and looking into it, he gets 8th for MVP. Kayvon Thibodeau gets 4th. Dang, I guess we chose the wrong defensive end. Best offense in the NFL, best defense in the NFL. 5,300 yards, 41 TDs, 12 interceptions, 70% completion percentage. Amazing year. James Robinson, 21 TDs, 4.8 per carry, 1,300 yards. Had 5 less touchdowns than last season. Same average rushing, but had 200 more yards. And I think he had a little bit less carries, too. So, Marquise Brown, 104 receptions, 1,400 yards, 5 TDs. Christian Kirk, 15 TDs, 1,200 yards. I mean, I guess that contract is kind of worth it because he seems like an elite receiver now. But he still shouldn't be the third highest paid receiver in the NFL. Evan Engram, 1,000 yards, 12 TDs. That should get superstar dab. Chenault, 5 TDs, 1,000 yards. And defensively, Logan Wilson, 116 tackles, tackles for a loss, 21 for Aiden Hutchinson, sacks, 18 for Josh Allen, 17.5 for Aiden Hutchinson. Josh Allen has really been the menace throughout this defensive line. Aiden Hutchinson has done amazing, 11 sacks and 16 sacks, now 17.5 sacks. He's growing more and more, but Josh Allen has truly shown his dominance over Aiden Hutchinson throughout this rebuild. Interceptions, 3 for Shaquille Griffin, 3 for Darius Slay. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to see who we're going to be playing in the divisional round as we are 15-2. This should be our year this year, not the Ravens, please. 11-6 Indianapolis Colts. Please do not rip us out of the playoffs like you did that second year, please. And they do. 31-10. Upsetting. I'm not really too mad about that because it happens. 11-6 team. If their Colts were 9-8, I would be pissed. But since they're 11-6, it's not the worst thing ever. We're going to go skip into the offseason just to see the final overlook of the team to see if there is any development upgrades. Christian Kirk should get Superstar X Factor. He did great, and Evan Engram should get Superstar Development as well. In Madden, good signings. Jaguars, cool, but in real life, stupid signings. Colts win the Super Bowl, and George Pickens, never heard of him before, wins Super Bowl MVP, and there are no Jaguars here. Kayvon Thibodeau wins Defensive Player of the Year. God, that's upsetting. Anyways, rosters, let's see what we got here for the upgrades. Christian Kirk should get X Factor. Dude had 15 touchdowns and 1,300 yards, 1,200 yards on the season. This dude is getting X Factor just to give myself a final overlook of the team. And what was that star receiver that I remember drafting? This guy, yeah, Bowden. He didn't really ever play. I forgot about him, so he didn't really get to play. Evan Engram is going to get Superstar Dev. I'm just going to do this so that way you guys can get a final round off of the team. He had 12 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. He's been very consistent, putting up 1,000 yards in almost every season with this team so far. So very good. Defensively looking into it. Logan Wilson has X Factor. No, he came with Superstar, so he didn't come with X Factor. Darius Slay has X Factor as well. So this is the overlook of the offense for the final year, as this is an unsuccessful rebuild. Went 15-2, though. Defensively, this is what we look like as well. McKee only has Star Dev. So anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.